I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey, listen, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. What we're going to do right now is play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library every week. And big shout out to Mott Branch. They roll out the red, black, and green carpet for us each week when we set up our studio and our display, Our background is real. It's not green screen. You could touch it. All right, it's the real deal. Hey, let's get into some introductions. Then we're going to get into our mission statement, guiding principles. We have a dynamite show for you today, talking about some things in our community that we believe you need to know about. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. 14 years ago, it was them that had the idea of Community Solidarity Day, and they asked me to help plan a couple of events, and we started on a Tuesday. Hey, we're still on a Tuesday today in 10 years, and I think in November it'll be our 11th year being unbossed, unbought, doing things the way that we want to do it. And as wait, what am I wearing today? Today I've got on my black hat, my regular brown glasses, and I've got a shirt that says "All lives can't matter until Black lives matter." And they got a whole bunch of stuff on the screen. You can't see that, so you'll have to take my word for it that I'm rocking that out today. I got my beads on, and as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost. No matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And we're doing this for the protest culture and the activist community, where we have a space where you can speak truth to power, and we don't have to be filtered. You don't have to apologize for speaking your truth. Jodie, I'm going to pass it to you right now. If you can introduce yourself, look like you got on some new gear, and then we'll get right into our mission statement.
What's up, everybody? Jodie J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. See, he ain't wear the braid this week, but that's okay.
All right.
But if you're listening or watching right now, because again, we do understand that this is a time where you'll be getting off of work or picking up kids or doing activities and stuff like that, and we don't want you on the phone, looking at stuff. So if you're listening right now, we appreciate you.
That's right.
You're tuned in to one or more, because we are on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify Live. So
that's right.
There's been a new announcement that Facebook Live might not be live like you think it is anymore. So we're going to figure out how to get that all going.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening each and every single week, or coming to when we used to have meetings in person. It's getting warmer. We might do some in public.
Yeah. I can see that.
Stuff like that. Recruit some new members, get some fresh blood behind the seat and stuff like that. But we describe ourselves because we always want you to know you're listening to the correct people. We don't want you on the podcast or something thinking that we're talking about all this stuff, and we don't live right here. We don't look like the thing that we are talking about. We don't wear muff. It's March now, so people can feel a little bit better. Happy Women's Month to everybody out there. And everything like that. But what am I wearing? I am, to describe myself, I'm a big black brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts and stuff like that. You don't see as many because I got actually one of my brand hoodies, the Care Bear gear, as is affectionately known. Hey, that's what it is. Give yourself a hug. The art hoodies, where I've taken the artwork that I've written in books and put in museums and stuff and translated it to a hoodie. I had to make up some words and stuff on the back. There's some words. You can check out my profile picture for that. But that way that I can continue even when I'm not here. Somebody could be wearing a hoodie 10 years from now. Like, what is that?
Right.
That's that guy, stuff like that. I'm wearing my hat and got my staff in the back. I don't know if you can see my staff. I might have to move my head. And I'll be making some crystals from Paris and stuff for Haley when she gets here, because I know she's supposed to be here shortly. But going into year 11, and how do you get here? You don't just get here by simply doing protests, or die-ins, or write-ins. It's a very delicate balance of getting to actually know your politicians.
That's right.
You can only scream on the picket line for so long, or get mad on social media for so long, if you don't even vote, if you don't even try to know these people for the limited time, which they keep trying to extend longer and longer, that they stay in office, because this is an election year.
That's right.
I am an elected official. I must do my duties and responsibilities to remind you that don't let Orange Man win.
There's half our sponsors right there. All right.
Oh man, I need to check my checkbook then. But anyway, Just to remind people that stay active and involved in your community. Stop scrolling things and doom scrolling, because, if you're just watching somebody else's story, you'll never learn to live your own.
That's right.
Always find somebody else's existence more exciting, and it's not, because you're an awesome individual. If nobody's told you that, let me tell you that. But how do you get here? How do you go through all the minutia of save this world, save that world, do this, volunteering and making an impact while still keeping your home safe?
That's
and
right.
The foundation of what you built, whether it be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some people started the boycott. They might be inspired to start their own organization for the Black History Month and stuff that some people participated in. Or it could be a decade where you're now looking to inspire a new generation that will continue on, so you can continue building foundations other places and still have that home base. Mission statement
and guiding principles,
which is like our walls, our foundation, our stuff that people can come in and try and infiltrate, but we know where all the tools and stuff are hidden.
Yeah, we already did that. All right. I don't think they're coming back. All right. No, I don't think so. I think that ship has sailed. All right. No.
Get a new banner up. Just remind them again.
Yeah.
But here's how you get here, and a little bit about us, because I know a lot of organizations and stuff do not constantly let you know where they come from, but we want you to know where we come from, because we are very lucky in a sense to miss a lot of bullets and near misses and stuff like that a lot of organizations go through.
Yeah.
We have stood by these, rules and guiding principles to do just that. So I think that's another dead space and stuff like that. But let me begin. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. And justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, and before we get into our guiding principles, maybe after this, we in honor of Women's History Month, we'll talk about
some shout outs.
Yeah, give some shout outs.
The mamas, the sisters, the aunties,
some significant others. All right.
Significant others. We don't want him to sleep on the couch.
Absolutely. Yeah, not today, Satan. Not today.
Love me, Satan.
All right. Hey, these are CSRN guiding principles. This is this kind of the glue that holds us together, because it's not an easy thing bringing together activists that could easily do this by themselves, but we decide to pool our resources and our talents and skills to make this happen. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
That means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Hey, before we take a short break, Women's History Month, I'm going to give a shout out to Sister Yvette Muhammad. This would be, I think, in November, if the universe permits, we will be married 34 years. And I haven't made too many good decisions in life, all right? I haven't made not too many. And I think that's one, I'm going to say that's most likely one of the best, all right? One of the best decisions that I've made. And I want to give a shout out to Twyla Page, Sister Twyla Page, Mother Emeritus of CSRN. Mother Page, I know that I need to stop by, all right? Since we're shouting you out, Jodie and I are going to stop by and check you out, make sure you're doing okay. Those are, for Women's History Month, those are two of the women that have definitely made a difference to me. Jodie, who do you got before we take a break?
Oh, I got kind of a laundry list, so I'm just going to try to Micro Machine Man them and go on down the list, as this being my 10-year anniversary in just a few days, actually, March 23rd. I want to thank some of the women that were gracious enough to guide me along my journey to being a poet, author, illustrator, polymath of all of this stuff. So I'm going to first and foremost thank the woman that gave me life, my mother, Lynn Summers, for everything that she did in this life to bring me here. My grandmother, who taught me skills of sewing and cooking and mending and telling jokes and storytelling, Melinda Nell Summers, one of the women that brought me into poetry. Kay Renee, had it not been for her putting my name on that sign-up list, I don't know where I would be right now. Paula Blocker, aka Stormy, Dee Brown, Deborah Sue, Della, just Shawana Wynn, who I'm going to see in April. Laundry list of people that inspire me. Andre Johnson, to keep going in art and stuff. And even though this is my decade, I hope to see 20 more.
I'm starting to feel some type of way. All right. Okay. All right. Do your thing. All right.
But I look forward to many more blessings upon people and the women through whatever tumultuous time this might be right now with the person we have in office trying to strip a lot of stuff. You know, I got to get a little political. Yeah, right. But yeah, those are some of the women, just a small portion of all the women in my life that's let me be a better balanced male.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we'll do this next week. If you got another 20.
I got a lot.
Man. All right. See, I got to be careful. I got to be careful. All right. Hey, listen, let's take a short break. We're going to come back with Haley. Yes. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, where we come to you live from my branch library. And as always, whenever we have someone in the studio, it's not a guest, Jodie. All right, so it's not a guest. It's one of our partners. Jodie.
Oh, this is for me from Paris.
Okay, so, all right, I thought I was just doing my little part, you know. I didn't know that there would be gifts hanging from the microphones.
I know he ate with that.
I thought I was going to get all the attention, you know, the spotlight. All right, okay, that was
smooth.
Yeah, it was.
That was smooth.
It was. Hey, family, as always, whenever we have someone in the studio, we have them say who they are, you know, what they're wearing, and what are we talking about today? We got something serious we want to talk about. You may have seen some things in the media, but we want to just take a kind of a proactive step. All right, instead of trying to talk about what we don't know, we're going to talk about what we do know. So, who are you? What are you wearing today? And what are we talking about?
I am Haley. Today I have on some jeans and a sweater, a t-shirt, and a vest. I have glasses, earrings, and necklace. So pretty just simple, just for whatever the weather decides to do.
Yeah, it's been a lot of changes. Now, we talked last week, right after the podcast and right before this one, about what are we going to talk about, you know, this week. And I thought that you and I both thought that we could talk about how serious it is for your children to be safe. If they're at school, in the community, if they play sports, if they're in a dance troupe or whatever, you know, and why is it important? So you've got pretty protection.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some new gadgets here today for you. Why is it important to let our young people know that they really have to be alert, aware, and safe no matter where they are?
Just as with anything, knowledge is power. So as far as safety, I think there's so much going on in the world right now that the term safe is really, really important. And safety doesn't even have to really mean like I have all the gadgets, but gadgets are nothing without awareness. So we have to start having our kids just be more aware of their surroundings, more aware of their friends, because nowadays it seems like our kids are really, really influenced by a lot. Teens are recruiting teens. So I think it's just really having that conversation of what to expect from our kids without yelling.
Well, I heard earlier today, I talked about the podcast with other people and what we're going to be talking about. And some people say, well, don't you think you're doing a little bit too much? And aren't you making them paranoid? So I said, well, that's a good question. I'm not going to, just turn down anybody's question. But what do you think about that? Do you think that talking about safety, some of the things that you have in Pretty Protection, do you think that we're making our young people paranoid and kind of defeating the cause? What are your thoughts?
I don't think that we're making them paranoid. I think that we are giving them a reality. Reality can cause paranoia, but that's basically how you deliver that message. If you're always telling your kids maybe all bad things, and yes, they will be paranoid, but we do have to give them awareness because it's better for them to know than not to know. So I think it can cause some paranoia, but I don't think that's a bad paranoia.
Okay. So for you, as a parent, how do you approach having these conversations? I've had to do it, but how do you start the conversation off? How do you ease into it? What is your,
For me, well, I self-protection, so my kids are kind of there, they're already there. But I tell a lot of parents, just in the moment when you have that teaching moment, there's never a time where you can't teach your child. So whether it's if you have a 5-year-old and they're walking across the street, then you teach them, hey, you don't cross the street without looking both ways. You don't talk to random strangers. We have to continue that education as our kids become teenagers. A lot of times we assume our kids know something and then we're upset because they don't know. But if you sit down and think about it, did you ever really have that conversation? Did you ever have that conversation where you sat down with your child and said, hey, this is what to do in this situation. This is what you don't do. And when I say have these conversations, I mean have them in a loving time, not after you just yelled at them and now who listens once they get yelled at, So I think that's a good time. Just every lesson is a learning lesson. If you're driving down the street and you think of something, I'm random with my child. Sometimes I'm like, hey, if you're at somebody's house and she's like, Mom, what are you talking about? And I'm like, it just came in my head and I thought, so there's never a right time. And sometimes we try to wait for the right time to parent our kids when every time is the right time.
So in an instance, if your child is a part of a music group, sports, heck, even in the faith business,
absolutely.
Man, what do you say if your child comes home and wants to talk about an experience that they had that was unsettling, at church or at the sports thing or at school with an adult? How do you receive that, and what should a parent do from there?
So if a child comes home with an unsettling experience, from an adult, first and foremost, and reassure your child that it's not their fault.
That's right.
Comfort your child first, as hard as it may be in that moment. Respond, don't react. You have to take that moment to say, hey, this is what I need to do. Make sure your child's okay. And then take the proper channels. Go to the police, make those proper reports, because a lot of times we want to solve things in the street, but that doesn't get that person. It doesn't do justice on all ends. You can solve it how you want to solve it, but if that person is still walking this earth and they still have that opportunity, you know, to maybe harm someone else. So definitely you want to report it to the correct authorities. But first and foremost, seek mental help for your kid. Therapy is okay. You know, seek that help for your child, because sometimes things that they don't tell us, they'll tell someone else. You know, so find that safe space for your child that's outside of you.
And what about the thought? I mean, I grew up with this saying that we don't want people in our business. How do you push back against generation after generation being told that you don't need help? We're not telling anybody our business. Black people don't do that. You know, so what are some of the things that you do to push back against that?
I just tell people when I hear about we don't need help, or it's not, you know, it's not our culture, I just tell them, try it. Try it. You always have the option to try. And if you don't like it, then don't go back, you know, but actually go and try it. Especially when I have a lot of people come and who talk to me and they tell me things is like, I'm not going because I don't want to look bad, or I'm not, like you said, I'm not telling them my business, or that they're judging me, you know. And I tell them all the time, people go to school to do this.
That's right.
This is what they do. But also we have to realize you don't want to burn out the people that's close to you. If every time you're calling, it's something negative, or, you know, you're complaining, and then you're upset because your family is all in your business, you know? So it's like, go to a professional, someone where you can vent to about any and everything. And if it's something that you're not comfortable speaking about, you don't have to. You control that. You control what you give off. But definitely try it, especially if you have medical and it covers it. Why not?
Yeah, do it.
Why not work on your mental health?
You know, I run into this in this line of work, that we believe that we can tell our family anything, and our family may not be trained to hear certain things, just as a paramedic is trained to see some things that maybe I'm not trained to see, or you know, or anything like that. Having a licensed, certified professional that can listen without judging, that can listen without criticizing or condemning, that's a great thing to have, you know. And a lot of people use therapists and counselors every day to be able to balance out for the week, or balance out, you know, for the month. And I think that some of the people that you might think that are well put together, you have no idea who they see, who they process things, you know, so that they can look like they got it together. But I don't know anyone that just, you know, wakes up and never has a problem, or never has anyone to, you know, to talk to. You know, that's, you know, that could create a problem after a while of storing all of those things in, you know, and not having an outlet for that. So if you're out there, there's some counselors on, I think on my Facebook page, I shared something about counselors that I know in the community. I'm not going to include myself because I'll, you know, but there's a lot of great people that are professionals in listening, and know they will not share your information with anyone, just as your doctor won't share your medical information with anyone. You know, neither will they.
And honestly, I mean, sometimes we're out talking to our family and they're sharing your information with everybody.
Yeah.
So you told your mom, and she told your sister, and now your cousin, now your granny calling you, and your cousin from Texas. And all you wanted to do was vent because you were having a bad day, where you could have called that therapist and that conversation could have stayed there. So, and even a therapist is not even always a therapist's job isn't to tell you what to do. A therapist helps you through life. There's times where you could go to a therapist with happy moments. It's not always negative. You can celebrate with them as well as you can cry with them. So I definitely support therapy, just because anybody needs somebody.
That's right.
Know? And no matter how much you say you need nobody, we all need somebody.
Look, even your therapist has a therapist.
Yes.
All right. You know.
And your therapist is not going to her therapist talking to you, talking about you. That's a big misconception a lot of people say as well. I hear that all the time. Well, I don't want my therapist going to talk and tell all of my business. And I'm telling them that's not how therapy goes.
Right.
You know, like,
and trust me, they got enough problems
of their own
that they're solving that they don't have to bring, yours up. And my last thing about talking with unqualified people, and those unqualified people could be your relatives, your immediate family, that's just not set up to hear those types of problems, and it troubles them. That's why they have to talk to someone.
Yes.
And if they talk to someone that's not qualified to handle that, then they're going to talk to someone. And that's why you always hear, I can't trust anybody. I told Jodie about the things that I got going on. I was going to say what those things live on air.
I told Jodie about the other day.
Right. So if Jodie can't handle hearing something from me, and he may look up to me, he may think, well, Brother Washington never had problems, and that could be troubling.
It could be triggering.
Right. So make sure if you can find someone that's a certified professional that you can talk to. And if you don't know who to talk to, hey, just inbox me. There's a large group of people that I know that I trust that can help you through some things. And talking about help you through some things, you got some things with you today.
Yes. So when I was on here last time, I had promised to bring back
let me find it
some things. So today I brought back the cell phone stun gun. This is perfect. It goes in a case, or you can put it in a case and it will look exactly like a cell phone. It has a flashlight. It's rechargeable. And just turn it on the bottom. And there you go.
Oh, man. Oh, all right. That's what's up.
Yeah, prior to that, I don't know if Brother Washington wanted to be stunned. He asked how it felt. No.
Well, I was
live?
I was stunned. I was stunned to see that it looked like a phone. That's what I was. Yeah.
You gotta get our viewers out.
Oh no, I can't take one for the team this time.
No. Okay, but it does hurt.
Well, that's awesome.
It does hurt really bad. But and then I also we were talking about being safe and being aware. So I also brought the this is a defense alarm. So once you pull this, it's a really, really loud sound. This is just with everything going on, being aware. If you pull this, it draws attention to you. With kids nowadays, you can't take anything to school. Everything is considered a weapon.
That's correct.
And with the way society is, I totally understand, So this is just another way to, if you are in the middle of something or your child's walking home, someone tries to get them, they can bring attention to themselves without having to yell or, you can silence me. You can't silence this if you don't have the pen. So this was just another one. And it's also a flashlight. So it has a nice little blinding flashlight on it. So this is another safety item that even though it's small, it still can be powerful. And
right now you have these on the website.
Yes.
I'm trying to look at this. You got the discreet smart cell phone stun gun.
And that's the one that I brought today. You can click on that one.
Let's click on it. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Click on it. Where's Jodie when I need him? All right. So if we click on that. Oh yeah, this is awesome.
Yep, and it's the exact same one.
It looks just like a phone.
It looks just like a phone. And you can't even tell that it's not a phone at all. And like I said, it comes with a case and a charger. So it comes with a little case you can put it in, and it comes with the charger as well. So you can recharge it, and you have your phone.
You would not.
A protection phone.
That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. I kind of pride myself for being able to know everything, and every day I learn something new. All right. That feeling don't last long.
No. So this, it lasts, And this, once you fully charge it, you don't have to keep charging. You don't have to keep
Okay.
charging. And that's with all of my stun guns. All of them are rechargeable. So none of them are a one-time use. And they come in a variety of sizes, but this is one that I love because it is discreet and you don't know.
So it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
All right. And will Pretty Protection be doing, I don't know if there's Women History Month deals or discounts for.
Absolutely. There's always discounts for women. No.
Okay. All right.
But I'm going to run a discount. I'm going to run a promotion. I always like, to be honest, I like to drop promotions Tuesdays after I leave here.
All right.
Because I feel like the viewers who are watching, you kind of get first dibs on our promotion. So if you scroll on the website, you see the Bling Stun Gun.
Well, let's see it.
At the bottom, right there.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to run a promotion of the Bling Stun Gun. So $25 for the stun gun and the pepper spray. And that will be for both sets. So I have it in a Bling Stun Gun, and then I have some sets that aren't bling.
Okay.
But those will be $25. Typically, a stun gun is only $25. So you're really getting the stun gun and the pepper spray for the price of one.
This looks like could be some lipstick.
And that's exactly what it's called, the lipstick stun gun.
Oh, it says it right there.
So, and this is one of my top sellers. A lot of women love this because it's super easy to use. I've brought this one on. I brought this one before, but it's super easy to use. It's literally 2 buttons, a red button and a green button. A lot of my elderly customers love it as well because it's simple and it doesn't take much. It's concealed. It has a top on it.
Okay.
So it's pretty.
Okay.
It's pretty in protection.
Are they easy to? I'm always thinking that maybe it's just me. Can I make a mistake and stun myself? How do you
So you can't. Yes, you can make a mistake and stun yourself if you're not careful. If you're using a knife, you can make a mistake and cut yourself.
That's true.
If you're using a gun, you can make a mistake
okay.
and shoot yourself.
Right.
So yes, I would be a fool to say no, you cannot, because absolutely you can. But if you are paying attention, as with any weapon, you have to be paying attention. As with anything in life, any type of protection, you always have to pay attention. I said before, awareness is everything.
Okay.
So if you have it, it's not easy to stun yourself, because it does have a lid. But of course it's possible.
Okay. All right.
But it is possible, but I have some on my website that have a safety pin that makes it less likely to stun yourself if that pin is out. So the only way it will work is if the pin is in and then you're aware. That also is great for kids. So that's the extra precaution some of them have, is that safety pin, that safety switch.
And your children know how.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
My 2-year-old's not even phased.
Oh,
he's not phased.
Okay. Can you buzz that thing one more time?
Yeah. So you just turn it on the bottom. There's an on-off switch.
Okay.
Turn it on, and then the flashlight. Do you want to put your hand there?
No, it looks like you're maybe recording, and then I would grab at the phone and say, "Stop recording me."
Yep. If I have it, or if you think that I'm taking my phone, let me turn it off before I stun myself on camera. Awareness.
Okay.
But even if you're walking and someone tries to grab your phone,
because that's what I'm grabbing at the top.
Oh
man, I'll be so. I'm glad I'm retired from crime. I would not be good today. Oh man.
Yeah, come grab my phone, please.
All right.
Please,
okay.
please, thank you.
And I could see someone taking you up on that.
Yes. So this is good, and this is good to travel with. Definitely good to travel with. I travel with this a lot.
Okay. It's a phone.
It's a phone.
And people have more than one phone.
So this is great to travel with. And it makes it on a lot of
right. And if you wonder why we just stopped talking, that's because Jodie's talking off camera. We can hear him. You can't hear him. So it just looks like we're dummying up. We just sit here like that. But that's Jodie talking off camera. Hey, you know what we need? Jodie, we might need an off-camera mic just in case. Yeah, just in case you want to chime in. So, yeah. So since they couldn't even hear that part. So
right,
yeah,
he's
maybe
still talking, and we still look crazy now.
We'll try to see if he can dig in the bank account and see if whatever off-camera mic costs, whatever. I don't even know if that's what they call it, but that may be something that we might need to look into. All right, Haley, it's Women's History Month. You heard Jodie and I talk about some of the women in our lives. Jodie's was extensive. I'm keeping it safe with a couple. What about you?
I would say my mom and my grandmother, most definitely. Those are the staples of our family and my life. My mom has definitely taught me a lot, my grandmother as well. So definitely shout out to them too.
All right. Self-care. After doing all that you do, what do you do to relax, recharge, and kick back?
Said before, I like to color. So I do color and just silence. A lot of times after kids are down and everything's done, I like to just sit in silence, just stare at the wall. I find peace in just silence.
I'm with that.
Even after work, I get in my car a lot of days, and if my daughter's in there, sometimes she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I just listening to the silence."
Yeah, so that's right.
That gives me a peace of mind.
Right. All right. Hey, would you mind coming back? I don't know if Jodie does it every other week or whatever. Could you come back? We got more and more things that you and I could talk about. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Jodie got me on every other week, I think.
Okay, that's what's up.
So I'll be here.
All right. Anything else you think we missed before we take a break?
No, I do want to just show everyone again what Jodie got me. This is cute.
Yeah.
So from Paris, they not like us.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So
that's awesome. I'm still waiting for whatever I'm supposed to get.
Pretty dope.
All right. Okay, yeah, I did. Hey, I got a beret.
Oh, he being a grateful Jodie?
Yeah, that's my MO. All right, okay, yeah, okay. All right, Jodie. Well, he's off camera. Nobody can
hear that. Even hear what he said.
Nobody can hear that he didn't give me anything. All right. All right. Hey, we're going to take a short break, and Jodie's going to come back, and we're going to top some loose ends with some community shout-outs and solutions. This is the CSRN Podcast, our Week in Review. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back, but you can still hear. I think we got some music playing. Let's go ahead, kind of just segue that music out. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. Last week, I think we were. Of course, it wasn't March. Just as we had Black History Month. And we are in Women's History Month right now. We listed some of the women in our lives that, that definitely have contributed to making us who we are. And big shout out to all the women and even Haley. We had Haley on for Women's
First
History
week back.
Month.
First
all right.
So into place.
That means that we're thinking. All right, we're thinking. So big shout out. And also what else is happening this month is that it is the month of Ramadan. And if you don't know what Ramadan is, Muslims around the world welcome the annual fast as a time of heightened devotion, self-analysis, and self-correction. Fasting during the holy month of Ramadan is an act of individual restraint and collective advancement of goodwill and commemoration to the revelation of the Holy Quran. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that the book was written in this month. This is the month that we utilize to commemorate it. So yet we remind ourselves of the holy month of Ramadan and the universal mission of Muhammad and the universal message of the Quran as a guidance to men and women revealed to humanity, so that we are obliged to share the spirit of devotion through the fast in the month of Ramadan with all society to remake the world. Now, of course, there is no water during daylight hours. There's no food during daylight hours, nor do we engage in sexual activity during daylight hours, nor do we argue. We shouldn't be arguing at night. So when the sun goes down, that doesn't mean that, it's on. We don't argue, nor do we fight, nor do we do anything that will disturb our quest. And to do this, what this fast is designed to do what it should. It gives us an opportunity to guard ourselves by abstaining from lawful things. So it's like if you could master the little laws, then you can master the larger ones. So it's a 3-part. I just had it on my phone. Why do I need it on my phone? I should be knowing this, but it's all good. It's all good. You good.
When you live, things don't come to you as quickly as you thought they would be.
Yeah. Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's a lot of pressure and stress that people don't really think about. That we ain't got no editor or no chat to come and fact check or get stuff up on the screen. It's just us.
Yeah. All right. There's 3 parts. The first 10 days is focusing on mercy. All right. And that's undeserved chances. And I think a lot of us, as soon as we're in the jam, we really, cry out for mercy. The second is forgiveness. And I think you and I talked about this earlier. Have the ability to let some things go. Because I think that sometimes we carry things with us that are of no use. We carry grudges. So also this is a time to settle some differences. And the last is safety from the hellfire. Now, of course, family, well, my belief is one and done. All right. I don't just think that there's somebody in the ground waiting to punish you for doing all the things that guy represents. All right. Who does that? But to be safe from the consequences of poor mistakes, so those are the 3 parts. This is our 4th day. It's March 4th. It started on the 1st. So there's, 30 days in this month?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Well, let's look at the computer. Yep. 31. We got 31.
So we got one of the longest months here.
We got 31. And in the last day, ends on the 30th, because there's 30 parts of Ramadan that we participate, or 30 days that we participate in. In the last day, we have a feast. So whatever mosque that you belong to, there's different mosques. It's just not one place that we go to, all right? Because I ain't feeling everybody, because everybody have their own custom, their own traditions,
their own path to walk.
Their own path to walk. So at the end of Ramadan, we have what we call Eid, and we break fast together, socialize together, and it's a wonderful experience. And you don't have to be Muslim to participate in Ramadan. There's many of our brothers and sisters that are Christian. Jodie, who I say he either checks all the boxes or none of the above. And I definitely respect my Buddhist brother over here for participating and edging me on and supporting all the brothers and sisters throughout this month. So, and one other thing I really want to highlight is Danetta Carter, the social butterfly. This sister has been doing great things for quite a minute. I don't want to say how long, then I kind of give her age, all right? Yeah. She's been doing it for at least 5 years. I'll give her that, all right? So what's happening on April 5th, 2025, there's going to be the Business and Health Expo. It's going to be at the brand new Wayman Palmer YMCA. And I think that may be one of the first events there. Yep. So come on out. It's the event is no cost. We're going to see if we can get a table there too. Mm-hmm. All right. And I'm going to also see if the Multi-Faith Council of Northwest Ohio, if they can get a table there too, because we're trying to branch out as a multi-faith organization into the community. And I said, hey, look, guys, this is a great thing to be a part of, because CSRN is going to be there. And anywhere CSRN is, it's a good look. And let me see, lastly, I want to just focus on a couple other things, Jodie. There is I went to this. This is Gaza Through the Eyes of Healing. We're going to join 2 local physicians who recently returned from a medical mission working to heal the wounds of genocide. This is going to be Saturday, March 8th. That's this Saturday, 3:30 to 5 at King Branch Library. It's out King Road. They had one here They had one here at Mott Branch, and it just lets you know how horrible war is. And what you see on TV is nothing compared to what
the reality of life.
The reality, yeah. And lastly, I'm going to get this one on in. Where's my other picture? Oh, I've already mentioned this week's edition of the Final Call. Repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. Meaning what, family? We got some stuff going on. And if you got some stuff going on, this is the time to really get a lot of our affairs together. All right. You see stuff happening every day. And I know I'm not ready, so I'm going to be getting some things together too. And lastly, on March 7th, I think, is that Saturday too?
No, that's Friday.
Oh, Friday, there's going to be a gratitude rally. I never heard of a gratitude rally, but Monroe Street United Methodist Church, we participate there for quite a few things. They're having this celebrating resistance, preparing for economic blackouts. Hey, okay. And also preserving diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. And so this is going to be 6 p.m. I don't know. See what our schedule looks like. All right, for that. See what our schedule looks like for that. And this is sponsored by the Lucas County Dems. Oh, okay. And Toledo Persists. I know both of them. All right. Jodie, I think that those are 2 of the things that I wanted to mention. Of course, it's always more it's always more like the Lean On Me Foundation. Our sister Deja Griffin is doing some big things, some really big things. And there's some other people, but hey, we only got an hour and we're close. Well, we're at an hour. So, hey, let me just go ahead and tap out right now. Jodie, are there some things that you've seen or been a part of in the community that people need to know?
Yep. And first off, I want to start by saying Happy Fat Tuesday to all of those that celebrated. I remember I was in New Orleans a couple of years ago during Halloween, not during Mardi Gras and all that stuff, which, I haven't really seen nothing about and stuff, but, world is a very different place. Also, shout out to our very own Toledoan Elena Hicks for
that's what's up.
Voice. We'll cover all the entertainment stuff.
All right,
let's
get it.
Here. Shout out to, again, the Toledo Museum of Art for winning top 10 under all the other museums in the United States and stuff. We are now the best metro park, the best library system, the best museum system. And there was another one. What am I missing? The library, the metro park, the zoo. The zoo is also the best in the country. And then we're up for another award soon for best economic growth marketplace and stuff like that. It's very funny. A lot of people don't really think about Toledo. I mean, when I was over in Paris, I had to mention the Jeep. And then they kind of got it, and they thought it was Michigan, but that's okay. I said them straight.
Hey, did we get something about the Metro Parks? Was that
Metro Parks has won a national award for the new park that we have over there by the water and everything, art exhibits and stuff like that. So there's a lot of great stuff. Once we get the what is it, the Glass City River Walk and everything done, hopefully we get a lot of tourism, a lot of people to see that there is a lot of stuff going on here. But just let me remind you all the stuff that you might have or may not have been at last week, and then I'll run into the things that's coming up real quick before going into 5 minutes of heat and stuff like that, trying to see if I am missing anybody. You did, Dandana, which is also, yes, that is going to be the first event. And there are some people with some mixed feelings about it because they are closing the location downtown. And I think it's a few days later, that's when the one over there open. So this is not just a grand opening for the Raymond Palmer, but it's also a shift from the services that are done downtown to over there as well. So if you get some letters or stuff and you're used to being downtown, it's just moving, a little bit further down the street, but still there as a facility. So let me shout out Toledo Film or Film Toledo. We had our first winter mixer at Wildside downtown, which a few years ago we had one down there too. It was a great turnout. Can't talk. Great turnout. I got to see a lot of people that I know from the film industry. There was some talent announcements, some things, because there's like 4 or 5 events going on this month. Also around Fantasticon. If you don't know what Fantasticon is, it's like Comic-Con, but the Toledo version. I've been there a few years. I don't think I made it last year, but every time I go, people try to figure out what comic book character I am.
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
But it's interesting. You can call me Steven. There'll be more about that stuff in some years, but I'm actually going to have a daddy-daughter date there. So that should be fun. It'll be our first big outing and stuff because I kept her away from the public because my life is a very interesting thing. So we're going to do that at Fantasticon. But Toledo Film Festival was last Thursday on the 27th. There was the artist support group. Shout out to Joe Sparks for starting that. It's an online group. So if you are artist, creator, creative, anything like that, once a month we meet and we talk about ideas, stuff going on in the community, whether here or abroad through, I believe it's Zoom. So that was going on the 28th. They had the mic drop karaoke at Whole House, hosted by Jessica White. There was the Poetry Prize pre-selected art docent-led tour Saturday, March 1st at the Toledo Museum of Art. I think there is still some time to apply for that. Basically, you look at the pictures of art, you write a poem or short story or something like that, haiku about it, and you might get yourself in the Toledo Museum of Art, which again, is now a member best one in the country. I just like saying that. There was acoustics for autism, which I wish I could have made it, but transportation, all the stuff, plus me doing Ramadan and everything like that. That was at the Village Idiot, where I believe it was over 150 artists, bands, and all that stuff came together to bring awareness for autism. It happens every single year. I know a lot of the artists there, and I'm sorry I missed y'all, but it looked like a great and fun time for what I saw through my lives and stuff like that. Going forward, there was and again, The Voice. Monday, everybody, I don't watch TV. Sorry, y'all. I see the clips. Love everybody. Shout out to Nate Hicks also for graduating in the fire department this class.
Right. And he was on the Voice too. They did a short segment about where she grew up in Toledo, about her dad, and then they showed some of the family support. And when they showed the family supporters, Nate was right there.
That is awesome. See, sometimes you miss a lot by watching TV, but we got other people.
That's right.
I see everything on social media.
That's my job, all right, so that you don't have to.
But and then that's about the list of things that I have. If you have stuff coming up that's for the community-based stuff like that, share it to our page. Let one of us know in public, and we'd love to shout you out on a podcast. Again, we're not doing this for sponsors or views or stuff like that. It is a free resource, just like our commercials that you see in our new Reading Rainbow. I don't know how that happened. It sounds like Reading Rainbow when it comes on, so I like that we don't get hit with copyright strikes every single week. And I got to go back and threaten them with stuff. But anyway, so coming up until you see us next, these are some of the things that are going on this month. So we have Words of Reflections this Friday, 6 p.m. It's at Nicola's Colors Arts, which is the Truth Art Gallery that is now moved right over there on Bancroft and Franklin in that little plaza right across the street from YMCA.
Okay.
That is newly being built. Fantastic on this Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Glass City Convention Center, downtown. Hopefully I'll see you out, maybe make the video. Also this Saturday, 6 p.m. is Uncloistered Poetry Live, The Attic on Adams. If you're familiar with that, shout out to Joni McKintry. And this Sunday is something I can't talk about because that's a private group. I keep forgetting about some of that stuff I can't talk about, but it's a business meeting. If you're invited into the group, just to remind people that's part of the Meeting of the Minds. Our meeting is this Sunday at the Truth Art Gallery. So I know some of y'all might be watching. Uncloistered Poetry online. If you can't make the live show at the Attic, there is an online version. So you can check that out. And right after we come back next Wednesday is the Respect the Mic at the Code. Shout out to Sunkiss. Happy birthday to her as well, because I know she just celebrated a birthday and everything, and that's at the Code Bar and Grill.
All right. Wow.
Forgot about that too. That's tonight. Okay, so another announcement, and one person that's been a major supporter of
absolutely,
one of our awards and everything. Rob Pasker has made his announcement for running for City Council
at large.
At large there this year. Again, as I talked about when we opened the show, that May is the next elections and everything like that. So I'm preparing myself, but this will probably be one of the most Blackest African-American people running for city council. I think I counted like 8 or 9 people that have put their bids in, from pastors to city workers to electricians. Shout out to Blair Johnson. I don't think I've seen Tina, but I'm gonna shut up about that stuff. But shout out to him. That's at Toll House until 8 o'clock. If you want to go over there, celebrate his birthday. Shout out to you, Rob Pasker, for sign the petition and make your voice count. So, Brother Washington's gonna lead us into a segue.
You know, I need to how about this? How about this?
We could stop by there somehow.
But we already have somewhere to be. We don't want to offend, but let's think about donating toward his campaign.
Okay, we could possibly do that.
Let's think about that, and we can say it. We're saying it live right
Let's
here.
think about having him on the show. Rob, calling you out. If you see in this show or somebody sees this show, we need to have you on the show, talk about your campaign.
And we need to donate toward it. because I think the last couple of CSRN things that we had, he was the first person that I called, and he's always like, okay, what do you need? Well, we just need this or that. He's like, bet, either come by or check your Cash App. So, and I'm also proud of Rob to even sacrifice his personal life to do that.
Yeah, that is a big undertaking.
Yeah.
Right now, he's currently like the advisor or ambassador for the housing market here. So, okay.
See,
Vice president.
You should have known that. All right, you should have known that.
But he is on the board of something for the housing market.
Okay.
Yeah, for LMHA. I knew it was something that he was like the over person because there ain't too many of us in that big white building downtown.
That's right. All right. Hey, what are we gonna do right now? We're gonna close out with 5 minutes. And before we do that, if you like what we do, we need you to like our not our Facebook page. You can like our Facebook page, but we want you to go to the YouTube,
right?
Like it, hit the subscription, and also hit the bell for the notification. That way, whenever we have a podcast, you will automatically be notified. And also, we're looking to have at least 100,000 subscribers. I think that's when they send us that thing in the mail. Of course, we can't take it to Key Bank and say, hey, give us, no, that was me back in the day. So we can't repeat those.
So we can put a couple pennies in our pocket back once you get that type of stuff, then you know that you have a residual income because your videos will just keep going.
All right. Yeah. What he said. If you like what we do, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, listen to us on Spotify. Once again, hit that YouTube. Soon we will be posting on X. I may have to do it myself. I'll have to do it myself because Jodie is too political. All right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and break down and do that. If you want to donate to or assist us in what we do via Cash App, that's the cash tag CSRN 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. If you say, look, I just want to buy something, well, you can get one of our Black Lives Matter signs. Matter of fact, I've got some in the studio, and you could probably come down. Well, you can't come down now. All right. Next week.
Same bad time, same bad station.
Get a real Black Lives Matter sign that's being used by us. All right. We may even sign it.
Yeah.
All right. We may even sign it.
Things.
We also have some of our defund the police. If you ever wonder, are they still talking about hitting the police where it hurt? Absolutely. Absolutely. So come on down. We've got just a few of those left. And soon we'll have some of the CSRN yard signs. We're working on how we're going to do that and how many we need. But we're trying our best to just create a revolutionary experience for everybody that they can like CSRN, listen to CSRN, and also have some souvenirs. All right. So having said that, as we close out, we never close like dominant culture closes. We always add our own soul into it. And we have something that we call 5 minutes of heat. And 5 minutes of heat is how we close out using creative expression. 5 minutes of heat comes from the Houdini song. That's a rap group for anyone under 40. All right. Maybe even under 50. But I think if you're 50, you might know. All right. Unfortunately, I do know because I'm well on the other side of that. It was called 5 minutes of funk, but we just switched the words around. It's 5 minutes of heat. Jodie has been consistent, giving out fire every week. Jodie, what do you got for us today?
So today I want to do a piece that is very, very near and dear to my heart. When I first started traveling and going around the country by the sound of my voice, I wanted people to know where I came from. Again, most people do not know anything about Toledo except that maybe we make glass and Jeep. But there's a whole bunch here. And at that time, again, beginning of my career, this piece was actually published. So it was probably penned about a month or so before. but March 30th, 2016. And I want you to pay. I'm going to somewhat read, maybe perform, because I still have bits of that in my head. It's not one of my retired pieces, but I have so many now that I get to take around the world with me. It doesn't come up that much in the playlist of my memorized pieces. So it's called "This City I Come From." Intro, as always, if you ever see me in a show, Atlanta, I'll see y'all the 5th.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah. And again, it's the reason why I'm Spoken Truth. The name is the stage name given to me back then, and it means so much more after this decade when you start, well, at least to me, when I go back and read the things I was writing then that are happening now. That's all I'll say about that. So, I am an open book, yes, open book to those that decide to read. 1,000 words, yes, 1,000 words to those who only caught a glimpse of me. And a lifetime, yes, a lifetime to those that can say they were part of my story. If you are anywhere under the sound of my voice, you are now family. Because on this stage, yes, on this stage is where I share the most vulnerable parts of myself. And I hope, yes, I hope that you hear me. So let's begin. Peace. This city I come from. This city I come from. Oh, yeah, this city I come from. T-Town, 419, the Glass, Frogtown, the Mud, Holy Toledo. Better watch your back. It's about so much attention, controversy, and doubt over the people within and the crimes, yes, crimes we only tell our friends about our water, politics, roads, nightclubs, public housing, school systems, and people, yes, people who really ought to just be friends. This city I come from has so much murder and senseless death from cousins killing cousins and people that didn't know each other until they seen their family getting dressed. This city I come from has so much potential and new growth. But very few see that because they want their pockets, yes, they pockets to show them the path of new hope. This city I come from, this city I come from. T-Town, 419, the Glass, Frogtown, the Mud, Holy Toledo. Better watch your back. It's truly my home. It's like no other place that I've been on my own. Home of the $5 bag for four. Hey, yo, you know you had to get Rellos. Promoters that don't even show up no more because their last 4 shows, there was no one at the door. Women that are just as bad as men when you tell them, hey, I only want to be your friend. So they run around town telling lies and convincing people of how you mistreated them. People that will tell you a dragon's tail if only to make a sale. Hey, yo, you know, if you buy 12 and if you don't like the weather, yes, if you don't like the weather, just wait a day or two. We go from rain to sun to hell to shine to sun again. And believe me, my friend, that is true. This city I come from, if you go right outside of your area code, you'll learn the most interesting stuff. This city that I come from has heart, soul, beautiful, yes, beautiful and inspiring stuff. Sports teams, museums, parks, libraries, artists, yes, artists you never knew existed, whose music, voice, and talent will have your very souls lifted. Art Tatum, Jamie Farr, Benika Baker, and many more were born here. This city I come from, we have magnificent museums, beautiful parks, amazing zoos, mind-opening libraries, and talented, yes, talented artists in every form that ever existed. From glass to portrait to building to skin, orchestra, solo artists, dancers, actors, video, radio, TV, even print. Around every corner, there's a story you never knew to be true about people that gave their lives for others to survive. Want no fame or glory, but just know that we paid our price in blood, sweat, tears, and pain so others could see another day without pain from blame. This city I come from, this city I come from. T-Town, 419, the Glass, Frogtown, the Mud, Holy Toledo. Watch your back. There's only, yes, only one man's point of view. But I hope I painted a decent picture for you in peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. And I just got this in, Jodie.
I keep seeing the pretty protection and it's flipping on the thing.
Yeah. Hey, we doing it.
Butterfly.
Hey, Rob Pasker's birthday happy hour and petition signing is tonight. It's going on right now at the Toll House. It goes on until 8 p.m. That's 1447 North Summit Street. I've never been there. All right. So
many times.
Oh, okay. All right. So get there. If you're watching this and you don't have anything else to do, get there, join Rob, wish him happy birthday, sign the petition. All right. That's Rob Pasker for City Council at large. And as always, all lives can't matter until
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else. Peace.